if you're a human being. Repeat after me. I am the best at what I do. I lead, not follow. I believe, not doubt. I am the best person I can be. I am living a legendary life. I live my life with passion. And 10 billion megawatt energy. I inspire others. I will step up. Step up. Step up. Sit down. That was for me. I want to share a story with you. The Pulaski Academy football team in Little Rock, Arkansas has had a lot of success. They won 8 state football titles between 2003 and 2019, including 5 out of the last 6 years. But what really stands out about this team is they don't punt. I don't mean that figuratively, that they have a bias against punting or they only punt when their backs are up against the wall. They literally do not punt. They never punt. It doesn't matter where they're on the field. They always go for it. They don't even have a punter position on the team. Think about the message this sends to the team. Number 1, we don't look back. We only look forward. Number 2, we are bold on every play. Number 3, we believe we're going to make it every time. How many of you have that kind of belief in yourself and your team right now? Don't raise your hand. When I was 23 years old, I was a broke bartender right over here at Trudy's. Anyone know Trudy's here in Austin, Texas? Yeah. I had just moved down here from Minneapolis for a girl. And I was a broke bartender, and I had just dropped out of college. So what did I do? I got my real estate license. Seems logical, right? Have you ever, I was nervous, I was scared, I was so like, am I worthy of being this person? Have you ever felt like, am I worthy of absolute success? I started studying and learning the real estate market. And while I was out studying and learning the real estate market, I met a gentleman, and he was in the back of my car, and he was on the phone the whole time. It was on a property tour where agents go and look at properties. And he's sitting back there on the phone the whole time. I'm like, damn, I want to be that busy. And he gets out of the car, he walks up to my window, and he says, hey, man, I'm looking for a buyer's agent. I had no idea who he was or what he was talking about, and I was like, good luck. A month later, I was driving my Ford Escort to my office right down the road, and I was listening to a Mike Ferry cassette tape, 1997. And on that tape, he was talking about buyer's agents. So I was like, wait, that's what that guy was talking about. Was he trying to hire me? I walked into my office, Prudential Owens, about a mile down the road, 23 years old. This is how God works in my life. And I look down, and there's a magazine, broker agent. Guess who's on the cover? That guy. I was like, oh my God. I read this article about him. He was the #1 agent in Austin at the time. James Willoughby I call him regularly to tell him I love him because he changed my life. I was going to call him that day. I did my open house. I got done. You ever scared to call someone? Raise your hand if you are. Yeah. Okay. Some of you didn't. That night, I'm working behind the bar at Trudy's. True story. Same day. He walks into the bar with his wife. I was like, oh my God. I was going to call you today. A week later, I went to work for him. 4 days after that, he gave me a book. Chad, every agent I've ever hired, 23-year-old kid, every reason to fail. You ever told yourself a story? Like, do you have a story that is holding you back? When I was 10 years old, I watched my father get handcuffed and lose everything. He was the most amazing, charismatic businessman on the planet. He lost everything. 3 years later, he got convicted and went to jail. 6 months after that, we had gotten him out of prison because they said he had 2 years to live. I heard my brother's phone ring 6 months after we got him out of prison. He had 2 years to live. He was 41. 2 weeks later, I heard my brother's phone ring, and he started bawling at 6 in the morning, and I knew at that moment my father had died. We all have these stories, right? That either can act as something that will hold you back or something that will give you rocket fuel. So, back to James. James gives me this book, and he says, every agent I've ever hired, I've given this book to. None of them's completed it, and none of them works for me anymore. I was hungry. I took that book. It was called 30 Days to Success as a Buyer's Agent, and there were between 10 to 30 exercises I had to do every single day. The first thing I had to do every single day, repeat out loud 25 affirmations 4 times. I am the best at what I do. I lead, not follow. I believe, not doubt. I love people. I serve people. I am a master salesperson. I study and learn my market. And I didn't know why I was doing it. Then I had to write in a notebook 25 times every single day for 30 days. I will enjoy success through selling 4 homes per month. And I didn't know why I was doing it. Then I had to visualize myself receiving checks, being successful in selling homes, and I didn't know why I was doing it. After 30 days, I completed that book. July 31st of 1997, I closed my first deal. I quit Trudy's. I got passionate. Not about money. I'm passionate about that. About serving people at the highest level. The next year, as a 24-year-old kid, I sold 67 homes, made almost 200 grand, right? That was a shift. I made him 300 because I was on a 40-60 split. I left him 9 years later, like my friend said. I walked across the stage as the #1 agent worldwide for Keller Williams. I remember Gary goes, you're great job, work harder. I believe in you. Sometimes people need you to see the potential in yourself that they don't see in themselves. Anyone in here lead a team? Have salespeople? Do you want them to have more energy, more passion, more drive, more sales? Do you want that? Say yes. Yes. Absolutely, right? Do you display that energy, that attitude, and that success? So Gary says, work harder. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. So here's what I want you to do today. Don't walk away from here thinking, that guy's amazing. I want you to walk away from here and think, I'm amazing. Because I am no different than you. We are all the same. I started speaking and teaching around the country. Are you guys having fun yet? All right, good. Just got to check in. I started speaking and teaching around the country, and people would say, what is it? What is the key? is the key to your success? And I'd pull them real close and I'd be like, massively positive freaking energy and incredible attitude. And they'd be like, no, seriously. And I'd say, I can teach you anything about sales. I can teach you about leadership. I can teach you about management. But if you don't catch this, you will never reach your potential. Say this, I am a magnet. I am a magnet. People are, you ever met someone with negative energy? Yeah, I was playing pickleball with one this morning. What do you want to do? Like, I'll talk to you later. People are drawn to your energy or they're repelled by it. And in order to get to a place in your life where you are leading your team better, where you're leading your family better, where you're leading yourself better, you have to revolutionize your thinking. And that will revolutionize your life. See, people were like, I never stopped with the affirmations. I'm going to teach you in a minute about the power of my morning mindset workout. 29 years later, guess what I did this morning? I'm the best man that God created me to be. I'm getting better and stronger every day. I love myself. I believe in myself. Some of us have these deep ruts. Like, I'm not talking about changing. I'm talking about releasing the things that are holding you back, and it doesn't happen overnight. This is 29 years. 29 years I've been brainwashing myself. Because that's what it is. I have to cleanse this thing. Anyone mind ever try and kill them? Anyone talk to themselves in here? What are you saying? Yes, don't answer that question. We have cameras going. What are you saying? Is it lifting you up? Or is it causing you to be someone that you're not intended to be? So, driving with my son one day, this is about 8 years ago, and he goes, beautiful kid, his name's Aiden. I'm going to go have lunch with him in a little bit. He goes to UT, he's 23 now. And I'm in the car closing a deal like, my kids had to deal with this for all their life, right? He was 18 at the time, and he goes, Dad, I got off the phone, he goes, Dad, you're pretty good, aren't you, at what you do? I said, son, I never wanted to be good. I never wanted to be great. I wanted to be freaking legendary because what we do is important. You guys have people in your care that are helping people with one of the biggest transactions of their life. People in divorce and transition, people that have lost a loved one. You are, my goal with every client is this. I still sell real estate, by the way. You know what my goal is with every single client? When the transaction's done, they're sad. They're sad because they don't get to talk to me every day. Say this, I am making a positive impact on the lives of the people I touch. What we do is so important. And yet, some people, the consumer, okay, the real estate agents out there, if you're really good at what you do, anyone work with real estate agents in here or has a team that does? Okay. We are dealing with a situation where people, does it make them scared like when they're doing it right? Our job is to have belief in ourselves and lead them through the transaction, right? Real estate agents are looking, the typical, traditional, average real estate agent, I put them over here, versus someone that cares, that studies and learns and understands the market, that networks, that markets, that has positive energy. The difference can cost sellers and buyers, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You get that? Yes. And their loans too, right? I mean, so if you walk away from one thing today from me, it's this: I want to be better. Like, I want to grow. My number one core value is personal growth. I want to grow. So, I'm going to talk about how to shift your mindset, okay? Is that cool? So here's the thing. Like, when I said to those people, massively positive energy and an incredible attitude, here's how it works, right? How many of you said hi to me today and I shook your hand and smiled at you? Raise your hand. How many? Oh, good. You know where I do that? Everywhere. Where can you get business? Everywhere. Everywhere, right? I was at Lifetime Fitness 7 a.m. this Sunday, and this guy was standing next to me, and I was texting my buddy, and we were laughing. And I looked at this guy standing there getting dressed and stuff, and I'm like, it's amazing when you can make yourself crack up, right? He's like, yeah, ditto. He goes, how's the real estate market? I don't know this guy. He goes, how's the real estate market? I was like, oh, it's wild, man. How is the real estate market right now? It's the best real estate market we could ever have. You know why? You know why? Because the typical traditional average real estate agent, the typical traditional average lender and their team, they're like, oh, the market sucks, so yeah, it's hard. I just work 3 times as hard and make half the money. I'm okay with that, right? So this guy says, he goes, so I didn't say, oh, it's so, I'm barely able to buy my dog food. I said, it's interesting. Austin, Texas right now, 16,436 homes on the market. That's a true number that day. I look at it every single day. Do you know your stats? Do you know the market? Do you know your business? I said there's 16,436 homes on the market. For a frame of reference, last year at this time we had 15,000. The year before that, 11. The year before that, 7,500. And in the heat of the market, 1,500. So it's very competitive. He goes, you're Chad. We've been meaning to call you. We want to buy a home in Circle C. Where does business come from? Everywhere. You got to teach your lenders this. You got to believe it in yourself, right? I mean, I'm going to share something with you. I'm a sober human being, and I go to these meetings where everybody stays sober. And a woman followed me out the other day, and I was getting some coffee, and she goes, you sell houses, right? So business comes from anywhere, even if you're a drunk. Reformed. So, how do we build this energy that attracts, that your team can feel, right? Like, here's how it works, right? The way we think, okay? The way we think, right? If you think positive, you feel good. If you think you're thinking crappy, like, oh God, that guy got shot, the real estate market's tough, this is difficult, then how do you feel? How do you feel? Then what do? Nothing. So here's the formula. You can write it down if you want. When I think good thoughts, I feel good. When I feel good, I take the right actions. When I take the right actions, that leads to my success. So I'm going to share with you how we can think better on a more regular basis. Has anyone ever gone into a program where they were working on their mindset? Anyone? Jake, what do you do? What do you do to get rid of the negative and bring the positive into your mindset?
First thing I did was take inventory of what is going on in my mind, so I could understand, okay, here's where my baseline is.
Yeah. Self-reflection, understand. Because we're all talking to ourselves all the time. And believe me, I still have major challenges in my life, but I have developed a system for the morning that allows me to think more positively, which allows me to take better actions, which keeps me in a state like this. And so I'm going to share that with you now, because this is truly what took me from being a 23-year-old broke bartender to #1 in the world was I shifted the way I saw myself. I changed the way I thought and talked to myself, and that changed everything. Do you know you have a conscious mind? It's very small, in an unconscious mind or subconscious mind, and it's massive. That's what talks to you, okay? So think of it this way. There is an ant. That's your conscious mind. And it's on the back of an elephant. That's your subconscious mind. And the ant is saying, I want to lead my team to 500 sales this year. And your elephant, your unconscious, is like, dude, you struggled with addiction, you lost your father, you never graduated college, you're not that smart. If you're thinking those thoughts, right, are you going to get to that? No. So the idea is I want to get the unconscious or the subconscious thinking those thoughts on a regular basis, which allow me to reach my full potential. Make sense? Good. Okay. So here is the morning mindset workout that I highly suggest anyone in this room that wants to improve implement, because your team is watching you, right? Your team's watching. My team was always watching me. They were like, he's doing it, right? I'm not going to ask you guys to do anything I don't do. So here it is, okay? Your mind is like a muscle as well. And I remember, does anyone go to the gym in here? You don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to. Remember the first time you went to the gym and you did a set of curls? And you walked out and you were like, God, I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger already. That happened? Your mind is like a muscle. It must be exercised and worked daily. And it will build and it will grow. And all of a sudden, you will have absolute belief. People can feel belief and energy, can't they? They can see belief and they can feel. Can you feel my energy? Yeah. Can you see the belief? So, here is the morning mindset workout, okay? To strengthen your mind. The first thing I utilize in the morning is called a wake up thought. I learned this from a movie called The Secret. Did you see it? This woman is like getting up out of, do you ever do this in the morning? Oh God, no, not again. I got to go to work and see Jake. Just kidding, Jake, that's a joke. Jake's amazing. Thank you for bringing me. Randy, thank you for bringing me. Thank you all for being here and allowing me to share. So, wake-up thought. I want to get my thinking on the right wavelength immediately. So my wake-up thought is simply this, and I've been utilizing it for 25 years. It's an awesome day, and I will positively impact the lives of everyone I touch today. That was the first thing I thought this morning, and guess who I was thinking of? You. My second set. I don't care if you're a Christian or not. I am. I got on my knees, and I thank God for my life. I thank God for my children, my 3 beautiful children. And I thank God for the blessings of everything that I have. I am a grateful person. I am grateful to be here. So I pray. Now, third set, affirmations, right? I have 25 of them. I create them in the I am format. Okay? I don't do these on Mondays and Wednesdays. I don't do them when I'm on, not on, I do them every day of my life. That's just honest. I'm totally honest with you. I want to be the best I can be, not only for myself, but for my kids, you know? Like, I want them to see somebody that is smart, focused, happy, and engaging and positive, because they're going to absorb that. Would you agree? Yes. Yes. I'm going to tell you a story about that later. The third set, I read my why. Gary Keller, when I started growing in his company, he's like, Chad, someday you'll have all the money you need. You need to have a big why. He wrote a book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And in it, he said, the most successful people have thinking powered by a big why. And I wrote this. Everything I do is laminated so that, like, this is my business plan from, this one was 2012, okay? I laminate these things because I have a copy in my shower, a copy above the visor in my car. I am surrounded by it. So, Gary said, you're going to have enough money someday, and then what's going to motivate you? You need thinking powered by a big why. So, my why is my kids, but this is what I wrote when I was 29 years old on August 8th of 2004. I am doing what I am doing because God gave me the tools and presented me with the opportunity to make a huge difference in this world. I have the ability to be the best at what I do because I understand it. I have a major passion for it. I'm a student of it. And I have absolute and utter belief in myself and my team. I want my children, my wife, and all of my family to have total freedom of choice to do what they want to do. I want to positively impact the lives of everyone I touch, especially those whom I love the most. I want to give back to those who love me, support me, and believe in me so they may live a life they never thought possible. I want to create positive change as much as I can and make the world a better place. Most of all, I want my family to be proud of me. That's my why. So now think of, instead of waking up and looking at all the people on Instagram, right? I do that. We're on Instagram right now. Follow me, Chad.Goldwasser, if you would like. This is what I do. If you ever have a conference or you have a sales meeting and you want me to come in and speak, this is me selling. I'm always selling. Call me, text me, DM me, okay? This is what I love to do. Because in this world, so much of our thinking, so many people, would you agree, it's difficult. Especially right now. So, thinking powered by a big why, wake up thought, prayer, affirmations, my why, and then I will read through my mission statement. Okay, if you don't have a personal mission statement, I would write that. And then I read something positive and uplifting, like that story. Is that a cool story? Imagine how your team would feel if always you were just like, go get it, do it, bring it in. We don't have a punter, I'm not gonna live the rest of my life with any idea that I can't do whatever God intended me to do. That's gone. The idea of anyone in this room making me feel like I don't care anymore. I don't care what you think of me. And I mean that, I love you guys. But are you ever like, oh, I don't know if I should post that. I don't know if I should say that. I don't know how they're going to feel about me. That's gone. I don't care. I've been through enough that has taught me. I love this statement. Does anyone ever think, oh, I hope that I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, actually, because I know y'all do. Oh, I hope that person likes me. I hope they like what I said. Okay, here's the thing. I wonder what they're going to think if, right? I love this idea. When I was in my 20s, I was so worried what people were thinking of me. When I was in my 30s and 40s, I started not caring as much. In my 50s, I realized nobody's thinking of you. If we can get rid of those things, I mean, life is so much better. It's so much better when you stop caring and you stop caring what other people think of you and just truly be your authentic self. People can feel that, okay? So you got it? That's mindset. How do we shape our mindset? What do great leaders have that is amazing is attitude. So what's different between mindset and attitude? Here's attitude, okay? Are you having fun?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Are you learning something?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to quit soon, but all right. Attitude. So mindset and energy. People can feel it. They can see your, like I didn't walk in here today and think, gosh, I wonder if I'm going to do good. I have honed this skill. I have given everything I have to be able to move an audience in a way. So I have belief, okay? Do you believe in how you work? Do you believe in your team? Do you have belief? People can feel it. Like, I don't walk into a listing appointment like, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I know that there's no way. I get in the door, it's done, because I have systems, okay? But attitude is this, right? That's attitude, okay? So mindset, energy, and belief, but attitude is this. And I'll share this with you because this is beautiful. Charles Swindoll, anyone know him? He said this: the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think, say, or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing, we have a choice. We have a choice every day regarding the attitude we embrace for that day. Wouldn't you love it if all of your salespeople and people on your team were like, I'm getting on the phones, bro, I'm going to knock out 10 deals today. Like that attitude versus, oh my God, I remember this woman coming into my office. We were cranking. She's like, phone calls don't work. Prospecting doesn't work. I'm like, really? I bet they don't. We cannot change the past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. Okay, now here's how this turns onto your team. I would suggest you get that and you start sharing that with your teams. The attitude they take into every phone call, into every prospecting session. I don't walk into an open house and, man, I just hope someone works with me today. Anybody, here's the interesting thing. Everybody I meet, everybody I talk to, everywhere I go, they end up doing business with me. Isn't that amazing? That's not true. But that's my attitude. Okay? Mindset, energy, attitude. That's what took me to the top. When I meet with a buyer, we have systems, we have tools, but I am always thinking, how can I, I don't focus on the money as much as I focus on the service. I got a call, I was speaking up in Minnesota about a month and a half ago with a guy named Parker Pemberton. If you don't know him, anyone here lives in Minnesota, look at Parker. He just had $100 million month sales. Number one ranked realtor with EXP. He had $100 million. He texted me. We're good friends. He grew up in the cul-de-sac next to me in Minnesota. Crazy. But I was speaking up there, and this has to do with service. And why I must bring energy and positivity to the transaction. This woman, I got off stage and this woman walks up to me and she goes, this is insane. I was just going to look for a Texas agent today. I'm like, we can get business anywhere. And she goes, I have a buddy in Mesquite, Texas, and his wife just committed suicide a month ago. This is a month ago when she told me this. I was like, dang, that's tough. He said he's got 2 daughters, and would you help him? And I knew that was a call for me that I needed to go there, because sometimes we need to bring this energy and this attitude to our clients, because we never know what people are going through. Sometimes we do. Okay, I went there. Now, I mean, he and I are like, we're closing it on Tuesday. Okay, so the real estate market is moving. There were 2,241 sales in the past 30 days in Austin, Texas. I was studying the Dallas market too. 2,284 sales in the $1 million to $5 million range in Dallas, Texas, which is where I'm moving my business a little bit. So if you need to buy or sell a luxury property in Dallas or Austin or anywhere, call me. That's my commercial. All right. I'm going to share one more thing with you, and this is so important, okay? It's all important, right? Like, what got me to number one? I study and learn the market better than anyone on the planet. Like, I don't just, and this has to relate to your agents and the people. How well do they know their products? How well can they share them? How well do they, for me, real estate, neighborhoods, right? I went up to Dallas 2 weeks ago and started studying and learning the market. And within a week, I knew more about it probably than 90% of the agents out there, because I don't just pull up the stats. I went out and looked at properties. I go out and I physically look at these properties, right? Because I want to be super, super good at understanding the market. But I just want to share this last thing with you about having a goal and a vision that you share with your team all the time. Every team meeting we have starts with our mission statement. I think it's so important. Mission statement and values. And I want to share with you, like, if you don't have something written down right now, that when I say, what's your goal? What's your vision? Where are you going? And you can't give it to me immediately, get clear on that, okay? Because when you get clear, right, then your team gets clear. Like, you should be repeating it all the time. I'm building one of the top 3 personal development brands on the planet. I am easily generating blank amount of revenue per month, and I am positively impacting people around the globe. That is a vision. It's right here. So, if you don't have a crystal clear vision for yourself, for your life, for your team, this is so important. Because here's what I wrote. This is a life plan. I wrote this on November. I laminate everything, like I said. This was written on 11/17 of 2004. I was 20. I would have been, it doesn't matter, 29. I learned about this from a guy. I wrote my personal mission statement. I identified my 7 core values. I wrote a eulogy, how I want to be remembered. And then I took my 7 core values and I wrote clarifying vision statements on each, and then I created goals behind those, right? But that's not why I'm telling you this. This is why I'm telling you this. I wrote my 10-year Goldwasser Team 2000. Isn't this cool? This is so cool that I still have this, because this is 20 years ago now. I'm 53 now. This was 20 years ago. I wrote my top 5 core values for my company, for my team. I identified my core purpose to create a fun and exciting environment of teamwork to help people achieve their goals. But this is the cool part. And this is why it is important to get you with a goal and then to be able to teach it to your team. Because what you do, they'll follow. If you're the leader, you must lead. So here's what I wrote. Big goal, next 10 years. We will become the top real estate team in Texas and top 50 in the world within 10 years. 3 years later, I was number 1 in the world for Keller Williams, number 42 on the planet in the industry, 6 million agents. And I don't tell you that to brag, because now I want to talk about resilience. Here's what happened after that. Number 1, 2007, 2008, I left Keller Williams to become the next Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, Zig Ziglar, and Gary Keller. 2009, the woman that I had been telling my chief operating officer and my chief executive officer that was handling our money that I did not trust, found out she was stealing money from me. October of 2009, I'm in California. My wife is like, you're not going to like this. She stole $500,000, not my wife, the controller. She stole $500,000 from me in a 3-year period. That was October of 2009. January of 2010, I have 150 agents at the time. My top agent comes to me. I knew exactly what she was going to say. She left. Half of my agents got recruited away in the next 6 months. And in the midst of that, the woman I met when I was 11, started dating when I was 13, married when I was 23, moved down to Texas for, said I want a divorce. That's what you call a 2, 3 punch to the gut. You ever had stuff happen to you? You don't have to raise your hand. I know you do. Resilience. People need us to step up, okay? In their home, in their family, we need to step up, okay? Some of you might be sitting here thinking right now, like, listen, this is not about your pocketbook. This is not about sales, okay? Eight years ago, I felt inadequate as a father. Have you ever felt inadequate about something? I felt inadequate. I have 3 beautiful, stunning kids. Mason's 25, Aiden's 23, and Sam is 20. Light of my life, Sam. And I felt inadequate as a father. Don't know why, I just did. Been through divorce, so many struggles and challenges, and I never sat my kids down and said, guys, you gotta think positive, you gotta read, you gotta smile at people, I never did that. And one day, I get an email from Aiden Goldwasser. Who gets an email from their kids? Like, I never get. And it's entitled College Essay. And I'm like, this is odd. And I open it up, and he said, Dad, I wrote this answer to a college essay question, and I thought you should read it. The question was this: how do you feel you'll impact and influence the University of Texas, both inside and outside of the classroom? His answer: I have infectious positive energy. For years, I have watched my father impact and influence the people around him with his energy and his attitude. He can't help but walk into a room and light it up. By this time, I'm bawling. I was bawling. I am now seeing how this has been bred and born into me, and I plan to bring that same positivity and energy to the University of Texas. People are watching you. Your team is watching you. Your children are watching you. This is not just something I think is a good idea. This will change your life. If you start paying attention, you start changing the way you think, okay? Here's the worst part about knowledge, okay? When you don't use it. When you don't use that knowledge that you have, you don't take action, okay? I take action every day. Say that. I take action every day.
I take action every day.
Say, I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I am the best at what I do.
I'm the best at what I do.
All right. That's it.